10. Kobe goes in. Boom!
Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's going to be the Golden State Warriors up against the Los Angeles Lakers. And now we send you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew. I'll see you at the half.
Just earlier, the fans on their feet as the national anthem rang out throughout the arena. 2K Sports brings you the NBA on a Friday afternoon. Happy to be with you with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. This is Kevin Harlan. A quick check now at the starting lineups for both teams. First for the Warriors, Curry and Thompson, the splash brothers in the backcourt. And at the pivot, a terrific defender and all-around player, the Australian sensation, 7-footer Andrew Bogut. Then there's Iguodala, and it's Lee in at the 4 spot. And looking at the Lakers, Nash and Bryant in the backcourt. And holding down the middle out of Central Michigan University, the skilled and ambidextrous 7-footer, Chris Kaman. Then there's Nick Young, and it's Gasol at the power forward.
And for the Warriors, unusual for a playoff team to be giving minutes to 3 or even 4 rookies, but that was the case last season. Barnes, Azili, Green, they brought in a rookie group with maturity that had done a good job of preparing themselves at the collegiate level, and all of them produced.
And for the Warriors rookies last season, Steve, they got an early start. They were in the team gym from the earliest days after the draft.
Well, this is a club that has great chemistry. Some of that has to do with Mark Jackson. A lot of it has to do with just the quality of people that they've put on that roster. But it's an exciting young team with a good coach and a great crowd. I think the Warriors have a very bright future.
Now Young, after the missed 3 from Iguodala. Kobe with the bucket.
Well, the number one priority for a defense when you face this guy is to keep him getting anywhere from the basket because he's just so strong as a finisher.
And, Steve, it's also really remarkable what a solid shooter he is, even in the presence of tough, sticky defense. He smoothly and calmly executes. You know, the way he played last season and the strides he made in terms of defensive presence and the fact he's a consistent threat, we can start calling David Lee an elite power forward, in my opinion. The numbers are certainly there.
And Kobe Bryant again.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Curry against Nash. Curry passes to Iguodala. He kicks it to Bogut. Kaman's there. 6 on the shot clock. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Andrew Bogut. That is his first foul of the game. And for David Lee last season, the second All-Star appearance in his career, one with the New York Knicks, and last year as a Warrior. The first All-Star appearance for a Golden State Warrior, Steve. And hard to believe in 16 years.
That's a long time, but it's been a pretty big dry spell for that franchise. But you know, you talk about Lee, he led the league last year in double-doubles, had 56 of them during the season. So, you know, is he elite? I don't know if he's elite, but he's a borderline all-star, made it last year. But one of the top, let's say, 5-6 power forwards in the game.
Yeah, that's high praise.
Yeah. But you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
And Young kicks to Nash. On the pass to Gasol. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, for Pau Gasol, calling last year a rough year might be an understatement. He fought off an injury and tried to find a role on a team that was in transition. A year like that can really take a lot out of a guy.
That free throw good from Gasol. And Steve, for Pau Gasol, he dealt with knee tendonitis from the first day of the season, then a concussion, torn plantar fascia. I mean, he just had one setback, it seemed, health-wise after another.
It was just that kind of season, which symbolized the fate of his Lakers, too. They just never seemed to get it going until it was too late. But, you know, with Gasol, we're talking about a guy who's remained effective for a long time in his career, and when you have that kind of skill level, I think your game can translate as you get older.
Thompson with the bucket.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
A short time ago, Mike D'Antoni and I were able to catch up. He said one of the key points for them defensively will be limiting the production of David Lee, adding, he's a guy who can score inside and out, plays with great energy, and his passing really opens up their whole offense. We've got to keep him off the glass and always see ball and man when he's got it. Basketball 101, Kevin. We'll see if they can execute.
All right, Doris, thank you very much.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Or the defenders have to make sure they tag.
Well, since the new CBA, the league has made the luxury tax much more punitive. But certainly the Lakers blessed with the financial wherewithal to be a tax-paying team. The problem is it can hurt your flexibility under the new rules just to make deals, and that's going to be the challenge for LA.
Back to Thompson. He feeds it to Curry. Thompson outside. Back to Curry. Curry gets the screen from Lee. It's Curry with the drive. Young with the steal. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. And the Warriors with some changes. Ezeli comes in for Andrew Bogut. And it's Harrison Barnes in for David Lee. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Nash against Curry. Ezeli feeds it to Barnes. Kicks it to Iguodala. To the paint. Ezeli. Good on the shot. Well, you talk about the huge fan base for the Lakers, Clark. One of the marquee franchises, certainly in the entire NBA.
I would even stretch that to all of sports, Kevin. The market and their finances clearly have helped them gain that stature, but you can't shortchange the organization, the people making the decisions. They've been a winner for a long time, and that's been the magic ingredient that's attracted fans, players, sponsors, the full package.
They grab their own miss. Here's Barnes, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And this is a guy who's made the power slam his trademark, Kevin. So we'll just have to see who he throws it down on tonight.
And you've really got to also admire his steadiness. I mean, no matter what the situation is, he's not going to change his game and risk a drop-off. Very consistent in his approach and production. Harrison Barnes was thought to be a shooter more than a slasher when he came into the league, and while he's been able to be effective from distance, he showed off some of his incredible athleticism with his ability to get to the rim, too.
Spates checked in for the Warriors. Douglas comes in for Klay Thompson. Johnson against Douglas. He dishes it to Ezeli. The Lakers with the rebound. And for Harrison Barnes, he's worked on his ball handling a lot to enhance his ability to drive.
Yeah, footwork, ball handling, passing. Those were the areas where he really didn't shine at North Carolina. But he's worked hard at his game, and he's rounded out his offensive repertoire really well.
Never seemed to blink. Handled the big stage, I thought, well.
Yeah.
And here's Douglas following the 3 from Blake. There's 49 seconds left here in the first quarter. Douglas kicks to Spates. 6 to shoot from 10 feet out. That's in, coming off a nice assist from Douglas. Spates has got his first 2 points.
He can finish in the post. That's one thing we know about him.
Back to Johnson. Farmar. Lakers passing it around. Blake guarded by Kirk. Kaman backing down. The shot is off. Great D that time from Ezeli. Warriors have gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. Douglas. Hill gets the rebound. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. This is to Farmer. It's back to Hill. Pass to Kaman. The feed to Blake. He kicks it to Farmer. Fires the 3. Can't get it to go. Tie game in Los Angeles. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. And off we go. A close game now starting the second quarter.
The Warriors were able to get back to the postseason for the first time since the We Believe season in '07 when they knocked off the Dallas Mavericks as an 8 seed. They didn't finish above 500 on the road, but still were much better than previous years, which allowed them to get to the playoffs.
And here's Los Angeles. Blake dishes to Hill. Farmar. Pass to Blake. On the wing, Hill. Passes it to Blake. He feeds it to Farmar. Kicks it to Kaman. Tipped. And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Hi, Kevin. Well, David Lee, an all-star for the second time last season. He averaged almost 18 points, 11 boards, and 4 assists a game. In fact, he became only the 5th player in Warriors history to clear 17, 10, and 3. Lee said of his assist, quote, "Teams are giving me a lot of attention. A lot of times the natural thing is to find the open man. But," he added, "I don't care about numbers. I get satisfaction from winning." And Kevin, the Warriors did that, with Lee making the first playoff appearance in his career.
Well, Doris, they really established that culture, and I guess those guys are buying in. Kobe's checked in for the Lakers. And the second free throw, good. Well, back to that Warrior road record that Clark was talking about, 19 and 22, as you said. But I remember an early road trip that, had them go 6-1. Really helped them start to believe in themselves. Steve, was a team last season.
Yeah, that included that buzzer-beating win against Miami on Draymond Green's shot. I mean, I think that's when this group really realized that they could make some noise and possibly be a playoff team.
Shot clock at 3. Here's Douglas. From the top of the key, he buries it.
Back and forth we go. That basket gives us just another lead change.
And there have been too many of those to keep track of. What a contest.
Oh, good with the triple. Here's Hill, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
It had been half a decade since the Lakers hadn't won the Pacific Division, and their back-to-back titles included in that stretch. But it was quite the fall from grace they took, as the Kings of the Pacific would end up 8-8 and 3rd in the division a season ago.
Touching back on the Lakers in the Pacific Division, you look at the problems they had with how they played, Steve, and the way the rest of the division stacked up. You could see the problems lining up for them.
Well, the division got better, Kevin. I mean, that's the big thing. Both the Clippers and the Warriors turned out to be excellent teams. And, Phoenix and Sacramento, not so much. But in the end, I mean, the Lakers really had to deal with a couple of teams that were just flat out better than them.
And we're now about a minute and a half into the second quarter. Kobe kicks to Farmar. Kobe against Bogut. Backing down is Bryant. Johnson launches a 3. And the rebound goes to David Lee. Lee's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
The hope was that a change of scenery and a chance to run up and down the wings would be just what was needed to get Wesley Johnson going in the NBA, but that just didn't happen for him last season.
Lakers trail by 5. And for Wes Johnson, the 4th overall pick back in 2010 out of Syracuse, he just hasn't been able, Steve, to break through.
Yeah, you wonder why, because he's got great size and athleticism, beautiful shooting stroke, and yet the shooting numbers just aren't there. So I thought he would be better coming into this league, but we'll see if he's able to develop and find a niche somewhere.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Warriors.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
Well, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnover.
And it's Johnson again missing. Curry with it. Now guarded by Farmar. It's Curry with the drive. Lee. That's a 2 from Douglas. That one a little long.
You really don't want to see him missing those mid-range shots, but when he's open, he's got to shoot it.
Here's Hill, and he makes the 8-footer. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. The dish to Bogut. With the lead pass. Shots good by Lee.
Well, they've settled into a pretty nice groove here offensively in the second quarter.
Yeah, I like the way they picked up the pace shooting the ball. I mean, the field goal percentage upwards of 50% now.
Here's Farmar. That's in, coming off an assist from Johnson. Farmar's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And Los Angeles with some changes. Gasol comes in for Jordan Farmar, and Nick Young is subbed in for Wesley Johnson. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Now here's Douglas. Outside Curry. Lee, defended by Gasol. Fades back. And again, it's David Lee. Lee's got 6 here in this quarter.
The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
Lakers trail by 6. Kobe attacking. Bogut on him. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, Kobe's never been shy about shooting. You know, a lot of people would argue that he gets maybe a little too shot happy sometimes, but you want a guy who's dominant. You want a guy who's not afraid, who's going to fail and just come right back and fire away the next time.
And the first one drops. But when you talk about Kobe's role offensively for the Lakers, it's worth mentioning last season was one of his most efficient scoring the basketball.
It really was, and you consider the turmoil that surrounded the Lakers all season. It was remarkable that Kobe was as even-keeled as he was, stayed focused, and start to finish, he delivered the type of all-star performance that he always does. Very impressive.
Now here's Curry. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Thompson backing down. Bogut. Back to Thompson. Now the pass to Lee. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
And the crowd immediately letting the officials have it after that whistle.
A very unpopular call there.
And the Warriors making a change here. Iguodala's checked in. 1:49 left in the first half.
Well, the Warriors going to the playoffs last season for just the second time in 19 seasons, guys. Pretty incredible and remarkable, too. But it seems, as Mark Jackson said, that things be a-changing in the Bay Area, and for the better. He didn't have to get off the ground very far for that one. The big man with the slam.
Well, he makes up for any lack of athleticism with that tremendous size, Clark.
Yeah, he's not exactly a smooth operator, but what he is powerful. And when he gets positioned in the lane, he can go up and get it done.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Guys, the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that's used to attracting marquee free agents from other teams, not losing their own in free agency. But this offseason, Dwight Howard decided to move on, turning down a larger guaranteed contract with the LA Lakers. A tough blow for the league's banner franchise, who'd taken out a number of huge billboards around town asking Dwight to stay. Sources said he wasn't overjoyed with the system the Lakers employed under head coach Mike D'Antoni, and also perhaps didn't enjoy playing alongside the always hyper-intense Kobe Bryant. Guys, we'll just have to see how big of a setback that becomes for this team's championship aspirations.
Well, we'll see if the Lakers can find a way. Thank you, Doris. Here's Curry following the basket by Kobe Bryant. Thompson from long range. Good! Thompson's got 6.
Things are starting to warm up from the field for them this quarter as they add to their lead.
Yeah, it seems like everybody, Steve, has the hot hand right now.
Lakers trail by 5. Farmar kicks to Kobe. Feeds to Gasol. He's against Lee. Gasol passes to King. Puts up a 3. And that one's good. Farmar's got 6 points in the quarter.
Oh, the rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I thought it might be a little imprudent to try to get those points right back, but it worked.
Now Curry. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Back to Thompson. The 3. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Curry's got 4 assists in the game. Gasol with it. Kobe attacking. 1 second left. That's good. 14 points for him.
I'll tell you what, he's made more than a few of those in his career.
Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Warriors ahead. They lead by 3. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And it's time to break down the first half of action. I hope you're having a great Friday night so far. The Golden State Warriors are ahead against Los Angeles. A nice job of sharing the rock, making plays for one another offensively. David Lee scoring with ease against Los Angeles. How's that for a shooting percentage? 100. Yes, 100% from the court. Not too bad. And for the Lakers, they've been battling. Excellent bench production. The second string coming in, knocking down the shots. We've seen Kobe in top form. He's carrying the team, doing everything he can to put them over the top. That's it for us here in the studio. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we resume, a beautiful nighttime view of Los Angeles, and in blue there, our venue, the Staples Center. You look at Kobe Bryant in this game, I mean, he has been everywhere.
I know we've said this many times before, but I'll say it again. He had a great first half, just an explosive offensive display there.
At the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about what a great second half he had. He can usually keep it going for all 4 quarters.
Nash. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
And what I like about him, he needs very little time to get his shot off. If he has just a bit of room, that's all it takes. In a catch-and-shoot situation, he's going to let it fly.
Steve, it has to be said here that he operates the pick and roll to perfection. I mean, he delights in running unwitting defenders or blindside picking guys so that he can end up rolling into a basket.
No good from Bogut.
Guys, for Kobe Bryant last season, you talk about adversity. I mean, the coaching change, the team struggle, and finally, once they started to get back on track right at the end of the season, he tears his Achilles tendon. Tough break.
Yeah, trying to put a little mustard on the hot dog there. That was just convert the shot. Come on.
Iguodala dishes to Curry. Bogut sends a screen for Curry. Thompson for the triple. Rebounded by the Lakers. Gasol's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And for Kobe Bryant, the completely torn Achilles tendon. You wonder if his big minutes contribute. At age 34, he's second in the league, for instance, in minutes played. He averaged almost 46 minutes a game in the 7 games leading up to the injury. And this is a guy that when he is on the floor, high torque at all times.
Well, there's no evidence that playing all those minutes led to the injury. We know that the Lakers were in a huge battle for a playoff spot, so it's easy to see why the coaching staff decided to ride him like that. But it does make you wonder, at his age, was that just too much for him?
Gets it to go.
He's not going to miss many of those, if any. Not when he's got that much room.
Timeout called the Lakers.
You know, last season, a lot of folks had the Lakers picked as the super team in the West, the team that would maybe challenge Miami and LeBron, but from the start, it just never was a cohesive group and really had one of the most disappointing seasons in the Lakers' history.
Nash kicks to Kobe. Puts the lead pass in front of him. Lee with the steal. And Curry, here we go. Iguodala outside. Iguodala right side. 5 on the clock. Defended by Nash. With the fadeaway. Hits the front of the rim and out. Clark, as you said, the Lakers had a lot of lofty expectations put on them, but you never know what's going to happen when a team is put together. And Steve, they just couldn't reach that bar that was set so high for them.
Yeah, the expectations were so high, Kevin, but injury issues cost them all season long. Nash, Howard, Powell, and of course Kobe with the Achilles at the end of the year. And that unit only started 7 games all season together, so they never really were able to develop any chemistry. Well, this Warriors ownership group has really energized the franchise. They've been very proactive. They purchased the D-League team from Dakota with plans to move them to Santa Cruz, about an hour south of Oakland. And in order to accommodate the team's home games, they built a new 3,000-seat arena in a matter of months.
Now here's Curry. Thompson left side. Iguodala outside. Back to Thompson. Iguodala outside. High post try. Again, Iguodala missing. And the Santa Cruz Warriors, as they've been renamed, have been a hit. You know, Clark leading the D-League in revenue, making the D-League finals last season.
And you know, with all of the D-League games now broadcast on YouTube, the exposure for players in the D-League is better than ever. And for the Warriors to have their D-League affiliate so close by gives them a much better opportunity to develop their young talent.
Here's Thompson after Pau Gasol's bucket. Iguodala, the pass to Thompson. He dishes it to Curry. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Nash outside. Gasol kicks it over to Nash. Young dishes to Kobe. A three-pointer, no good.
Well, you know, it's interesting, guys. Klay Thompson, as we all know, is a deadly outside shooter. But I think early in his NBA career, he struggled a bit with his touch around the rim. So it's nice to see as last season wore on, he started to find that touch around the glass and finish against bigger guys, which is much needed at the two-guard position.
Nash's shot is in.
A wide open three. They need much better communication defensively.
Warriors trail by 7. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. Well, and Clark, going back to Klay Thompson, he wants to be a complete player. His dad certainly was, and you know, Steve, he's just not a shooting specialist.
No, he's got the size and ball handling ability to really attack off the dribble, and he's also become an excellent defender, too. Greg Popovich talked about it during their playoff series a year ago. Thompson really did a nice job at that end of the floor.
Now, here's Young. Kobe, the pass to Nash. Kaman, guarded by Curry. Here's the floater. And Kaman finishes inside. And it's a 9-point Laker lead. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for Los Angeles?
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And the other thing, guys, defensively, a great job of closing out and blocking shots.
Curry kicks to Spates. And nothing is falling for him right now. Los Angeles leading by 9. Kobe attacking. And count the basket. He is fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
I love the flow that they've been playing with offensively tonight. This is an impressive performance.
Well, and that lead they have just continues to grow and grow.
Andrew Bogut checked in for the Warriors. The free throw drops for Kobe.
Everybody knows how brutal the Western Conference can be, and part of the reason the Lakers were able to make it to the playoffs is because they were above 500 in the West, which is pretty impressive.
Thompson misses.
And they needed that hoop to try to stop this run.
And they just seem to keep coming up empty. They've got to slow it down and get a good shot.
Deflected. Young dishes to Nash. And it's off from three-point range. Well, going back to the Lakers in the West, they would end with a 28-24 records team against the rest of the conference. That record falling right in line where they finished in relation to the rest of the West.
Well, that record was really the big reason that they were able to catch up to Utah and end up passing them for the last playoff spot. You know, Laker fans might not be happy with how quickly they exited the postseason, getting swept by the Spurs, but you know, they did make a good push at the end of the season just to get in.
Nash against Curry. Back to Thompson to end the run. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Welcome back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to get going once again. Hey, during the break, players getting a chance to refuel and hydrate with some Gatorade as there is more basketball in store. Warriors trail by 14. Bogut with a screen on Nash. Pass to Lee. He's against Hill. From down low. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
The knock on David Lee for a long time was that he didn't impact his team defensively. I mean, last year, however, you could see that it was something he was focusing on more and more, and really was a factor with his help defense and rotations.
And he makes the first. And Clark, when you talk about David Lee defensively, in the past, he's had to play a lot of center, both in New York and Steve now in Golden State.
Well, that's probably the weakness in his game. He doesn't have long arms. He's not a shot blocker. But, you know, he can get pushed around a little bit by the stronger centers. That's why it was important for Golden State to put Andrew Bogut next to him to be a rim protector and to protect Lee a little bit down there.
Now here's Johnson. Hill covered by Lee. Hill inside. He's against Lee. Hill, no good. Warriors trail by 12. Now Barnes. Back to Lee. And he uses the glass on the layup.
He used his strength there to get into the post without much of a fight from the defense.
Yeah, I think they've got to muscle up on him a little more. Do a better job next time in there.
Now here's Nash. Dishes it to Johnson. Now the feed to Young. Kaman defended by Azili. Kaman's shot is good. And the Lakers lead by 12.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
They get it back. Azili lays it in without an inch of room around him.
That rebound and the follow kind of typify what he's all about. Just gritty, determined play.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. I was able to listen in on what Mike D'Antoni had to say to his team. He laid one thing out there for them, saying, now is the time to eliminate any chance of a mistake. We've got a good lead. Don't take any unnecessary risks or commit a silly foul. Smart basketball from here on out.
Kobe attacking right through the D for the layup. Kobe's got 9 points here in the second half.
You know, they're being very one-dimensional right now, going to the post every time. But if it works, you don't need another dimension.
Well, they're taking this defense to task, quite honestly. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
Now, here's Thompson. Back to Curry. Lock at 6. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
You know, something we're seeing less and less of these days, that little finger roll.
Lakers leading by 10. Kobe goes in. Boom! He jams it straight down. Well, now they're just going to town on it.
Yeah, you think these defenders would have done a little more to put a stop to that stuff, Kevin, but so far, no go.
Well, a phenomenal aerial assault there, fellas.
The Warriors have gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the 4th. Curry passes to Iguodala. Chris Kaman with the rebound. Kaman's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Johnson kicks to Nash. Outside, Kobe. Back to Nash. This one for 3. Here's Gasol. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. Andrew Bogut checked in for Golden State. Lakers on D. Bogut sets a screen for Lee. Curry against Nash. Curry dishes to Bogut. Back to Curry from deep. Second shot opportunity. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. They get Paul Gasol.
Well, you know, Andrew Bogut essentially missed the first half of last season as he continued rehab from his ankle injury from early 2012. The team did a pretty good job of holding down the fort in his absence. Got off to a hot start, but no question about it. He gives this team a whole different dimension inside when he's healthy.
Good on the second free throw. Going back to Bogut, the Warriors took a little heat early on with that trade. You know, they sent their high-scoring guard, Monte Ellis for Bogut to Milwaukee, and they had to wait a long while for the big man because he came injured to Golden State.
Well, that was the main reason people were upset. They traded their leading scorer for a guy who couldn't even play because he was on the sidelines. But once he was healthy, the trade made perfect sense. Golden State had plenty of firepower in the backcourt. They needed the size and defense that Bogut brought them.
You know, even though he's getting up there in years, guys, Powell's effectiveness shouldn't really drop off much. He's a long, skilled player who doesn't play off the ground very much, and his versatility should help his longevity.
Clark, you mentioned the versatility of Pau Gasol. Steve, it's really the defining quality of his game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the ability to do so many things offensively as a big guy just really completes a team. Now you can run any kind of offense you want. And Pau, as a passer, as a scorer, as a shooter, has been one of the best in the game for the last decade.
And here are the Warriors now. They trail by 16.
Kevin, defensively, they're giving a better effort here in the second half. I mean, they seem to be settled down. They're communicating. They're working together. And that allows you to play good D.
Now here's Kaman. And the call will be against David Lee. That's his third foul of the game.
Yeah, close, but I didn't think he got on balance quickly enough.
And it's hard to draw charges as quick as players are at this level. That's not an easy bit of work there.
Kobe attacking.
Kobe having just a fantastic game. 25 points, and the contribution from the line for him, he's made 5 free throws.
He hasn't been afraid to draw a little contact if the opportunity's been there. And I'll tell you, some guys shy away from that, not him.
First one falls for him.
Boy, still waiting for the first miss from the foul line this half.
100% since halftime, is that right? I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon if that keeps up.
And Kobe drops them both. 1:58 left in the game. Curry with it. Thompson, guarded by Kobe. And Thompson kicks to Curry. From the wing. Rebounded by the Lakers.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Outside, Kobe. Back to Nash. Lakers passing it around. Kobe goes in. Thompson with the block. Another shot, and it's laid in by Kobe. Kobe's got 8 points here in this quarter.
You got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
Well, they've done a lot of things right, but I agree with you, Clark. Their rebounding is right there at the top of the list.
Now here's Curry. Lee defended by Gasol. Shot to stop the run. And Bogut slams it in.
A high-quality shot is almost always going to come off a rebound like that.
And Clark, he is so good at working his way inside, holding off the defenders under the glass, and being in the right position.
Knows how to use his body.
Yeah, and I just like the way he persistently pursues the pumpkin.
And it's Nash missing. Golden State's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Left side, Curry. And that one off the back of the rim and in.
Well, Curry is a constant threat offensively, Kevin. As soon as he crosses half court, you have to pick him up. He's got unlimited range, but also the shiftiness on the dribble, the ability to create space, get into the paint, and either hit a little floater or find a teammate for a jump shot.
Well, one of the best shooters in the game, Steve, no question about that. The passing ability is there too, but it's his honey sweet stroke that really is his best quality.
And here is Iguodala following the 3 from Young. The drive by Iguodala, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Nick Young. That's his first foul. Spades off the pick from Ezeli. Douglas the pass to Ezeli. Barnes, shot clock at 5. Here's Bazemore, sinks the three-pointer. Here's Farmar. Here's Sacre. No good. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
Well, that'll do it. For Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Kobe Bryant.
I wonder if I take you there, would you believe in fairy tales? Oh, a place where no one feels the pain, living without suffering. Roads are paved by loving hands.